Alright, that actually scared me. I didn't really know what to think of that. But, hello everyone. Welcome to said stream here. Hopefully my microphone is working properly. Just let me test that quick before we hop into this. I'm just gonna mute that and start the game up right now. But do a quick test of my audio. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to mute that. We're going to switch that directly over to what we came here for. Did that work? Alright, here we go. First time opening game just in case there's some like weird fourth wall break. Awesome. Alright, we'll just leave it there for now. Well, I get to test out my stuff for like the 30th time. Maybe. Oh, here we go. Anyways. We are English. I have played before. Yeah, I'm gonna turn down this a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't extrude anything. So the computer is barely visible. That's barely visible now. I'll probably just want to go like right there. Please enter the current time. Oh geez. It is 6:11. Okay. Alright, we're gonna test this here just to make sure audio levels are fine. Just that and begin the game. Turn that up a little bit. Oops, shoot. Okay, well. We're just gonna get going with that and hopefully that works. So, is there any field of view? We'll do 75 for now. Sensitivity, that should be fine. One-handed walking. My phone is being dumb. Okay. Should turn volume down on my side. But let's revolution. Alright, cool. Is there anything else I need to know? Interact, E, crouch, do Alt, and call that good. Alright, here we go.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Dude, I wish I had a
And then
job
one
like
day,
that.
something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Alright, we're in control now. I'm actually gonna just turn that up and call it good for now. So yeah, I have played this game before because it originally came out in 2013. Originally a Half-Life 2 mod. But yeah, like the cutscene of it cutting around, I'm pretty sure that was new. And I think the computer was normally here in the original game. But we'll see where this brings us.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
And like, okay, so like the entire point of this game is that he said that voice line just because I came over here. And it's supposed to lock a direct line through the door, but since I'm investigating, he's like, yeah, there's no one here. And you can also turn off computers. There's an ending. This is like a multiple ending game, by the way. And one of the endings, you have to like turn off a whole bunch of computers for some reason. Yeah, so I forget what the ending is, but I just remember that. Yeah, so there's nothing there. Nothing there. Alright.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So, just for the first one, I'm going to follow mostly what he says. So we went on to the left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer
I was reading
there.
that. Where is this projector? There is no projector. I want to go back. You can't have projector... Oh, wait, no, there it is. Okay. Use slides to ensure employees that everything is okay. Alright, cool. Everything is unique. You most of all. Dude, I'm unique? Oh my goodness. To do, synergize, core value. Number of slides on the slide. Slides, charts, and slides, charts. Alright, nice. Monetize free to play. I mean, I guess. Okay, so that's just speaking nonsense. Now, what does this say? Targets. Hire someone to synergize papers. Ooh. Weekly targets, admin, marketing, Mondays. Interesting. I'm not going to read all that. Do not alter it without consulting whiteboard manager. The fact that there's a whiteboard manager makes this like an actual job. Ooh, broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
But is there something?
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Just really.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet?
No.
Standing around doing nothing?
I'm not standing.
Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I wonder if he just... Because I remember in the original game, he just goes off on you.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
You don't know what my friends think.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase,
All right, here we
Stanley
go, back
walks
to the
upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, we're going to the boss's office. There's nothing outside. No, that's nothing. Okay, cool.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Dang, we don't know what it is. Here, random guess. 4-5.
Yet incredibly,
Oh wow,
by simply pushing random buttons
genius.
on the keypad,
All
Stanley
right, we
happened
have
to input the
what the
correct
heck?
code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Awesome. Seems quite the for like lighting. Like he just has like one of those like what do you call it? Like mechanical light. Am I supposed to go down? Is there anything over here? Okay, cool. I guess we're going down. Cutscene. Or maybe
Descending
not.
deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
I feel
was a
peculiar.
stirring of emotion in his chest.
There's
as
a
though he
stirring
felt
of
more
emotion in my
free to think
chest.
for himself, to question the nature of his job.
I'm questioning the
Why did he
nature of my
feel this
job.
now, when for years it had never occurred to him?
Why do I feel this now?
This question would not go unanswered for long.
I hope this question doesn't go unanswered for long. That... Wait, can I go back? Wait, can you?
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Alright. But did it go back to my boss's office? Is there anything new in here that I
Here
can
we are,
do?
Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Same. So if I do it again, just the... Okay, so I guess it doesn't do anything. I guess we have to go back down, don't we?
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Who knows?
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he? Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Hmm. We'll go in here, see what's up in here. Hello, camera.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to
Is
himself.
my boss a Discord
Did he have
moderator?
the strength to find out?
No, they're not doing it. Okay. What is with like the giant like portal thing down here though? Just a random underground bunker thing that appears to be happening down here.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of
Hey, look,
an employee
there I
in the
am.
building. Stanley's
427.
the lives
My
of
office.
so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility,
They even
it was
do.
too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
Oh.
Had
Is
Stanley
there an
really been
elevator?
under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yes.
No. He
Oh,
refused
never mind.
to
No.
believe it. He couldn't accept it.
Pirate?
His own
Wait,
life
what?
in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy
Dude, Matt, yeah,
or
it's
sad
great.
Or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I don't know if these buttons were supposed to do anything, but yes, Matt. Stanley Parable is great. But you know, this apparently has more stuff in it, so I'm replaying it. I also haven't played this game since like 2015, so it's fine.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
No, what the? Oh.
He had won. He had defeated the machine.
I honestly thought it was gonna be a twist
Unshackled
ending.
himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay
Oh,
unsolved.
don't worry, we're gonna solve them
Where
all.
had his co-workers gone?
They never
How had he been
existed.
freed from the machine's grasp?
No.
What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
Quite a few.
But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
Looks like an actual building.
Stanley
Or...
stepped through the open door.
Can I just, like, can I go back? Is there anything back here that I can do? No. Okay. Well, cool. All right. We're gonna step the freedom.
Stanley
That was
felt
a
the cool
cutscene.
breeze
Great.
upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Stanley is happy. Also, I got 2 achievements. I got one for beating the game and one for getting my first achievement. And we're back. Alright. So another ending I remember is you can just shut that.
Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me.
Yes.
Nothing will break me.
Nothing.
In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell.
There's a
But
clock on the
one thing he
wall.
knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
All right. So there we go. That was one.
All of his
the other
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
So
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
alright, we're gonna do everything against him now, just so I can have fun. So we've already done everything that we could do following his orders. Ooh, okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Right, that's 100% what I was doing. Yes.
Truly a room worth admiring.
Employee
It had really
lounge.
been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
You know, I kind of wish
Stanley simply
that
stood here, drinking it all in.
I kind of wish that they had, because these people also made Superliminal. I wish they had the machines from that game too.
Really, really worth it.
Because, you know, that was like one of the things you like
A room
click it
so
and
utterly captivating
the
that even
thing
though
would pop
all your
out
co-workers
and
have mysteriously
then
vanished,
you can
here you sit looking
use
at
it.
these chairs and some paintings.
Awesome.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first
Should I just
open
walk
door on
past
his
something?
left.
Is there anything in there? Nope, okay. No. We'll go this way.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I know, right? I about walked off.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking, this is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem
Oh, I just went too
yourself.
fast on
To
that.
put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Awesome.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To
Alright. We answered the phone. Hey, apartment 427. Nice.
Oh, Stanley, is that you?
No.
Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
Do I like bread?
All right.
I move.
Okay,
No, okay.
there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about
Your damn.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Okay, cool.
Sorry,
What?
but you're in my story now.
Brick the wall. That was interesting. Okay, now what?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
That sucks. Press Y on your keyboard. Oh, is it?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Okay, so I turned into
Look at
Stanley.
him there,
That's funny.
pushing
Oh.
buttons, doing
Stuff is
exactly
disappearing.
what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work.
It's
One
not
might
a
even
bad
feel sorry for him, except that he's
apartment.
chosen this life.
I could live here if I ever wanted to.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Wow. Press in to watch TV.
And so he began to fantasize
There's no
about his own
TV
job.
though.
First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
A terrible thought. Sometime with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Hey Vessel, how's it going?
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Fourth wall break. All right, tell your kids a story. I
It
don't
was
have
such
kids
a
though.
wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer
32
down some
minutes,
new
why can't you
path.
just be at
Mustn't
the
there
beginning?
be? Perhaps if
I mean,
you
I start
played
at 6
just
all the
one
time.
more
I made it my banner now, so now you have like no. Should make that bigger just so because Path 100% got mad at me for doing that. So I'm gonna make this bigger. Voila. Okay, cool.
But there is no
What?
answer. How
Alright.
could there possibly be?
My wife turned
In
into a
reality,
desk.
all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real
Just
one.
want to go lay down. Press M to go to sleep. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop.
I already did
Here,
listen to you.
Watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Alright, I'm not gonna push it. We're gonna sit here. I honestly wonder if it just like waits for me to push the button, but renovating gameplay. Alright, whatever.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself?
Dang.
How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
The question nothing.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please
And
die.
Stanley pushed a button.
Dang.
And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Alright, well. That's one ending. Oh, right. Going again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I missed a memo. Don't be mad at yourself, Vessel. It's fine. Oh, yeah, another input thing. There we go. It's new wait, whoa, new content.
Oh, new content?
Heck yeah.
What does that mean, new content?
What is this? This is brand new to me. I have never seen any of this. Like, I knew there was new content, but I didn't realize that there would be like this. Where am I going? This is amazing, because it's like I'm playing it for the first time again.
And thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
You are welcome. Oh, jeez.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Yep.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
You know, what's
The
it?
Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Oh, yeah.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
I feel like Thor from
Oh, well, this
Ragnarok.
sounds delightful.
When he's in the
I'm very
chair.
excited to see the thrilling
He's like,
new
"Ah,"
Ultra
and-
Deluxe
yeah.
content.
Alright, what do we... Is there another way, though? No. Okay, can I go back? No? Okay, cool. Alright, I guess we're going in the elevator.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go.
There we go.
All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, oh, okay. Let's see the
Oh, hell.
content. Give me the content, Stanley.
I will, don't worry. Okay.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Heck yeah, renovating gameplay. Oh wait. Okay, well. That was fun.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Sure. Alright, what do we got now?
Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe,
This
now
is the
with over
gameplay
1,000
subscribe for.
hours of
Dude,
new
the jumping
content.
circle,
And
heck yeah.
Oh, wait. There's more. Very good.
Oh, there we go.
Yes. I knew there had to be something else.
What is,
Let's
what
see
the
it.
heck?
I'm ready for whatever it is.
Why is there a catwalk in the office? Ha!
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Oh, okay, I guess I don't have a choice in resetting the game. Oh, what the heck is going on now?
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent!
Oh my goodness.
I want to show you something!
Alright, I guess we're trusting their narrator on this one. Don't kill me. Okay, cool. Okay, this is what I'm excited for right here. I'm going vent crawling.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be?
Yes.
Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special, and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Wait, we got like Dark Souls happening now?
I call it the Memory Zone.
Interesting.
It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Dude, is this the demo? This is interesting.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched?
Oh my goodness.
Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Is this just gonna be like one of those like tributes to the original? Yeah. Audience awards. Interesting. All the postcards, I guess. The original remake. Yeah, because it was a Half-Life 2 mod at one point. That's cool. Smile because it happened. I tripped down memory lane. Dang. Oh, hey, look, it's our first $1. Alright. Was that from the demo? That might have been from the demo. Yeah, demonstration. Okay. I remember playing the demo. It's impossible to get this achievement. Don't play for 5 years. British Academy Award. Wait, so what was the difference? Oh, game innovation, debut game, and story. Okay, was that ever? I don't think it was ever a New York Times post. Okay, that was one of the endings. Deals tough choices. All right. Can I sit on the bench? I want to sit on the bench though. Hopefully it's not like copyrighted or anything.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism.
Yeah, okay,
10
so
out
it
of
was a
10
mod.
From Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Now is this like a choice I get? Oh, memories and maintenance. Okay, so no. Where does it say fire? Okay, that did nothing. We got more pictures that we've already seen. Person of the year. Oh, okay. Nope. Okay.
Here's another moving passage.
Gosh,
this
we're just going
time
through
from
all of like the
GameSpot.com.
reviews.
The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Let's open again.
These were simpler times,
Yeah,
Stanley.
okay.
But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
This looks interesting.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor.
My
I
goodness.
haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
This has got it. This is gonna be great. Yep.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
It looks like Left 4 Dead level, honestly. Which I mean, I don't know if it was made on a source or anything. Like another review.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't.
An actual good review,
Yeah.
though.
What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
I think he's going through like a midlife crisis right now.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
This isn't gonna end up well, is it? Okay.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No.
He's gonna get mad at us if we do this,
isn't it? It's a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue.
Okay.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess.
Alright, I'm wondering
Okay,
if we're
welcome back,
supposed to...
Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again.
Oh, okay.
I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button to go anywhere other than the skip button.
I feel like we're supposed to hit it again.
There was a door here before, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times.
Still nothing,
and there's
okay.
no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you... Oh, Stanley, you're back.
Oh my God.
Back. Oh my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
What is going on?
I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I
You're
need to
really
know
bad
you
just
can hear
skipping
me.
him.
Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe...
No. Alright, did he die and we're just in...
Oh,
No.
hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year.
Oh,
Have you ever sat
gosh.
down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, is he just gone now? Alright, well, there's... Yeah, just skip it again, I guess. Alright, who planted a bomb?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic...
What is happening? I feel like I'm having like a mental breakdown right now. What was that? There's water getting in. Yeah, this was a tree before and the clock on the wall. Yeah, is it still ticking? It is not, okay. Well, we're just gonna keep going.
End is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Just having a mental breakdown. Oh, and the wall fell down. I wonder if, like, we just wait till it, like, deteriorates and we can finally get out. Oh, we got sunlight now. Can we get out yet? No? Okay. Oh, and now there's plants. Can I get out now? No. Alright, well. We're just gonna keep going. Oh, and everything died again. What the heck? And not what I was expecting, but... I don't like that at all. Oh, hey. What? Just turn into a wasteland. Alright, well. Yeah, hopefully the music doesn't copyright me. Not like I was making money to begin with, but... Oh. So is that the ending? We just got like the you wait till everyone dies ending? Okay, cool.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of
Gosh,
it.
why?
If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Why would you say that? There's just... This is supposed to be a choice game, not a horror game. New content. Well, okay.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Do I have to go through this all again? Oh, okay, good. Yeah, okay, cool.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, sweet, a sequel.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely
Investor
new
showcase.
experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities.
New
It
and
could go in
tasty.
so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Interesting. Actually, okay,
Calling
was
it
there anything...
Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe?
Sure.
What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Interesting. Okay, cubby systems, a door opened. Awesome. Here we go. It's a bird. New content is out. New content part 2 is in. Old and busted new hotness. Okay, well. Thanks for extending my meeting. It'd be honestly interesting if they were actually going to release a
Now, to
Stanley
be
Parable
clear,
2.
I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 2 legs.
Organize a handful
2
of
arms.
interesting concepts.
Who took
but
my
surely
red
the
marker?
game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out.
Number 2
Game
chat.
development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Sequels are good. Depends. I could see something like this way to the show floor. If I want to go this way. Alright, I guess we're going to the show floor. Oh, dude, new features? Alright, well, I guess we're going upstairs now. Expo Hall 2.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
So this is 100% just a demo again. The button that says the name of the player that's playing the game. Okay.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful? Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate
Okay.
the full experience of this feature. Just
Alright.
play along. I promise you'll love it.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Alright, my name is Jim.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money.
Would it though?
Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Cams. Okay, so we're gonna go do another one, I guess. Okay.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Whole new office. Red is the new orange. The ray tracing update. New features, new content, new ideas. Awesome. Alright, what's in... Oh, we can get an achievement? That is terrifying. Pull the lever. Wait. Pull the lever, receive a new achievement, no more steps, it just works. Okay.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel, to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
I wanted the achievement though. Okay, well. They got me on that one.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Okay. What is this? The jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Awesome. Did we go up here at all? Do something? Infinite hole, free achievement. Settings, world champion. Alright. Guess we're not going that way. There's an infinite hole though. I wonder if that would... Yeah. So what is this supposed to be? Oh, just a shortcut, I guess. Okay, cool. Well,
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
okay. Fair enough. I guess we go to, I guess there's collectibles that we could go to. Jump game was like a map. Oh, that's, yeah, it is a map, okay. Exit is that way. There's a whole bunch I want to look at, though. Alright, so there's gonna be collectibles.
Ah, collectibles.
Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative
I'm a little
is that there will
scared.
be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Hey, look at that. Alright, well.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Right. Okay, well, this is supposed to be the infinite hole, right? Rim surrounding area depth infinite. I can't leave this place. Rip. Okay, well.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I want to jump down it though. Alright, hang on. Is he gonna get mad at me if I go back upstairs? Because there's another pathway up there. Yeah, I feel like it would just end the game if we fell down it. Oh, rip. Okay, I guess we're going into the hole. Alright, into the hole.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so.
This is just the
Now then,
Portal 2
since you've gotten to see
minute-long
the
fall.
infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Great. Now,
Okay,
I'm very
well.
excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Oh, that was cool. Your stream cut out. What happened? There's a sequel, apparently. And he's showing us everything cool about the sequel, which, that was like one of the last things I did. But we just fell into an infinite hole. That was cool. So there's a free achievement that we couldn't get. There's collectibles, which we have one of now. I don't really remember anything else, but just go this way. Yeah, and jump circle made a return. But yeah, Stanley Parable 2 is...
Oh goodness,
What?
Stanley, this is fairly awkward.
What do you think
I
you're doing?
hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to the bucket exhibit.
There's a... Wait,
You see,
what?
there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves the bucket. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that
Okay.
you go see the bucket, okay?
Where's the bucket
All right,
at?
I'll get out of your hair now.
Parable reassurance bucket. Okay. So we're there. To walk through it and go to the left. Okay. Oh, dude, merch? Alright, we have to go to the reinsurance bucket. You know, honestly, I'd buy that merch. Oh, wait, hang on. Does this actually work? I have to test this now. That does. It brings you to a website called, or that's named the Stanley Parable 2. That's hilarious. Is there like a way I can... Is it any merch at all or no? There's a video. And yeah, there's like nothing else to it, but yeah, it's a working thing. It's fine, Vessel. There's apparently a Stanley Parable too, and that's what we're checking out right now. There's a merch shop with a QR code that actually works, which I find pretty funny. But we're going to the reassurance bucket right now. Whatever that means.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body.
Well, I
In
have the
fact,
bucket now.
Can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
I'm carrying a
I think that
bucket.
just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Yeah, can I leave now? Okay. Thank you for crushing all my hopes and dreams.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
They probably do
That
now,
really should be
honestly.
an award if it isn't already.
Minecraft being like, you get a bucket. Alright, so can I leave now? I have my bucket. Or is he gonna tell me that there's something else I have to do? Hey, suitcase. Alright, cool. That looks interesting.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes,
Guess
I
it
know it's
down.
not
Almost
exactly
down.
clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
I'm kind of scared, honestly.
Are you ready?
No.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay,
You're excited for it.
yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley?
I know,
This
right? Well, it's
isn't a
pretty fun to
coherent
me.
video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable
no.
and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up.
All right, here we go again.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh boy, are we playing it now? Oh, heck yeah! Dude, it's a sequel inside of the game. Alright. I'm excited for this. Alright, we're gonna begin the game. It's gonna be the same game, isn't it? We're just gonna start at the beginning.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company
It's
in a
literally
big
just a
building
reset of the
where he was
game.
employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did.
Okay, the fact that he's like
every day,
pushing them for the exact
every month of
milliseconds.
every year.
That's pretty
And
impressive.
although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Alright.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Alright, Stanley Parable 2 right now. You know, I have no idea, honestly. That's new. I wonder if there's... yeah. Those doors are open. I wonder if that's something... Hey, it's the reinsurance bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Heck yeah, we got our bucket back. It's the bucket ending. You have to find all the buckets, then you get an ending. Also, there's no new content door this time.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I don't know what... here. Okay, here, we'll go through the right door, and if there's nothing
This was
interesting,
not the correct way to the
we can go
meeting room,
back
but
around.
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling
Yes,
him
it was the
that
bucket.
The employee lounge was simply the place to be.
It was the bucket's fault.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
Yes.
Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Yes.
No, never mind.
No.
The bucket was wrong.
Rip.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Okay, here, we'll play this.
And so
Truly.
the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Okay, so we're back on track. Anything in here? No.
Still no one was here. Stanley
Tips on
needed the
not
bucket's
getting fired.
warmth and
Don't get
comfort
fired.
now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Okay, wait, is there more stuff here? Nope, okay. Yeah, it's a broom closet. We all know what happened here.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend.
This is my
I'll
bucket.
hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley,
I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends?
What?
That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient?
Bucket?
That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
This is my bucket.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go.
Yes.
Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet,
Yeah.
with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Alright, cool.
Coming to the staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Alright, yeah, we're going upstairs.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's
Oh, hey, there's a
desk.
keypad here.
Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew?
Yeah, the
all
bucket
along?
told me.
Was the bucket guiding him?
100%.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Hey, collectible.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Right. Okay, well...
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Oh, man, Bucket, you're 100% here for me.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
There's options.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
But I don't want to kill the bucket, though.
But of course, Stanley and the bucket thought better of it and realized they simply had too much to live for.
The bucket says escape. No! I'm sorry, you were too late. You were like... I guess we're doing this one.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Right.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears.
The bucket's
Stanley
about to
cradled it
cry.
gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
This has to be like one of the greatest games ever. Instead of like making
Was
me
the
replay an
bucket
ending, I
under the
already
mind
did.
control facilities
But now I have
influence
a
as well?
bucket.
Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
If it starts talking to me, I think that'd be funny.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Alright, we're gonna escape with the bucket. Because the bucket deserves it.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away.
Justice for Bucket, yes.
The two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth.
All right.
Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait.
What?
What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
No, Bucket. What?
Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket.
Bucket,
Needed
no.
the soothing warmth of the bucket. Would go to any lengths. not
What the
to-
biggest plot twist.
No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
All right then. That was a plot twist of an ending.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
I don't think computers now. Just have that on them. Figurine Finders Committee meeting today in the meeting room.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Yeah. Yep, we have a bucket again. Alright.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
Yes.
Was this better than the
It
meeting?
was.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
No, the bucket was right.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, we're not doing that.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Alright, I guess we're following the bucket's rules this time.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
It kind of does sound like Bilbo Baggins.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley
Oh my God,
and
what
his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend.
I'm
And
married
then,
to the bucket
very
now.
distressingly, he
Hey.
began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
What?
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head. Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me. Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Oh, sit still, loud man.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket.
This is supposed to be
once upon
like-
a time, it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is this awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal. It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now
Did we
on,
just
he's
replace-
going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
That is true.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another. Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no. I'm having feelings. For the bucket.
What is going
No,
on?
no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
What just happened? Yes, that was strongly uncomfortable.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest
Okay.
and entered the door on his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley
I'm gonna see
took
what
the
this
door on his
does.
left to go back to the meeting room.
No. Okay, we're doing this one again.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Danger. Danger everywhere.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point."
Oh.
Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your
Hi,
behavior
Vessel.
up to this point.
I have a,
If that's true,
you kind of
well,
missed
my
it.
goodness.
I
think
don't
we
even
have to
know
do
how to
something
describe
about
it, but it was
This misunderstanding
quite the
could have
interesting
dire
story of a bucket.
consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Alright. Gosh.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket,
What?
not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 3. Is this a bucket?
No.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
Oh, okay. Oh, heck yeah.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
100% a bucket.
What? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
This game is amazing. Oh.
Is this a bucket?
Oh, 100%? Yeah, that's a bucket.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Yeah. That's 100% a bucket.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
No.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Okay. I've heard bucket so much it doesn't sound like a word anymore. Yes.
Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
No.
Yes. Thank you.
Ah, dang,
There's
I should have said
nothing here.
yes.
Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless, is that what you think?
Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence, and yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this.
Yes, you're a bucket.
I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had
Oh,
to begin
wait.
with. I'm afraid
Well,
the
I can't
bucket
say-
is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry, but I'm going to erase all buckets from the
No,
game entirely.
not the bucket.
Okay, here we go.
No. Bucket, I'm sorry.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Huh.
Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Sounds
and
good.
we'll know that it's all a bucket.
Right.
But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Remember, guys, everything is a bucket. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Alright, see you, Matt. Yeah, we got the bucket again, it's fine.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
But,
Stanley
yeah.
had felt the bucket
Glad he could make it
calling
out.
to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Now
And
this
here
is
it
a
was.
bucket.
Had the bucket
No.
turned out to be correct? Was it? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Okay, we're gonna go downstairs
So
this
the two
time.
of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
This here is the bucket. Dear God.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found
There's
your
more.
way here.
No.
I knew you'd find this place eventually.
What the?
You see, your friends
What?
and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much.
Because it's a
It's
friend.
this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes.
dude, Adventure
that's what
Line.
the
That's what I
fans
forgot
want.
about
Let's
this
do
guy.
it.
Also, hello, Grin.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some
Raw
silly music
assets,
as
Matt,
well.
too.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about.
Right.
Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
What?
It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
No. I can't. You can't make me give up the bucket. The bucket is life. You know, I honestly never
Don't
thought
you get it,
I would.
Stanley?
We're
We
gonna
need to get rid of
destroy
the bucket.
it.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
No.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley
Yeah.
Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley.
Well, I don't want
Say
to
goodbye
get rid
to
of
the
the
bucket.
bucket. I
And
don't
then
want
pop it into
to.
the machine when you're ready.
No. I can't give up the bucket.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer.
Everything's
until
falling
you crush
apart.
that damn bucket. Quickly now. The fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
And then it blew up. But hey, at least the bucket. The bucket is forever. I have no idea what the heck is
Bucket
happening.
Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in
meta
time that you were here,
About modern media, it's
you were
amazing.
magnificent.
Okay, honestly though, rip a Bucket Destroyer. He was a good character. I liked him best in season 3 though. Alright. That was an interesting hinting. Right.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest, and this was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
There will be a reward for finding them all. Does this count as one? No? Okay. Near... Oh, wait. A large room, lots of boxes, stairs, something to do with stairs, something both red and blue. A private but smelly place for an important person. This is some kind of game. Wait, what? Warehouse access plan. Trust the completest instinct. Okay, we're gonna go downstairs this time.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
No, we didn't.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket.
What?
It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket,
What?
perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket?
No.
This is all terribly wrong.
It is.
Surely no
No.
good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his
Wasn't my bucket.
Indeed.
No.
The rooms were repeating, which was
No.
very odd. Now he felt himself
Oh, the
floating
bucket.
off the
The
ground.
bucket.
Oh,
The bucket wasn't mine. All
he
right.
exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the
Where's
distance,
my
now
bucket?
he heard it calling to him.
Where?
Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
I need the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his.
No.
None of them were his special
Oh my
bucket.
goodness.
Come to me, Stanley! Find me!
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity.
Where's
And
my
then
friend?
Suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside.
I'm
of him
sorry,
all
what?
along. It was incredibly painful.
Ah.
Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Okay, this is interesting.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, and took her bucket of comfort and security
God, the
and walked to
bucket
her
is just-
place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was.
He didn't have a
This
bucket.
man
Yeah.
had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
She just backflipped all the way. Okay. The sequel's now paused. Okay, so I'm gonna end the stream here, and we will kind of go from here. Next time I decide to stream this, which most likely will be Monday, because, you know, streaming schedule and everything. But yeah, this was very interesting, let me tell you, to say the least. But yeah, thank you guys for coming. And you know, this is a great game. It was pretty fun to play it again, since, you know, it was like, what, 9 years since it originally came out. You know, Wesley, you also have a good day. And Grant, if you're still here, you have a wonderful evening. But wish you could have a streaming schedule. I mean, you could just stream during the day. Okay, yeah, take care everybody, and yeah, see you Monday.